ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Diamond Select Toys action figure review on the Marvel Select Avengers Infinity War movies Iron Spider. If you're trying to pick this up, you can do so at big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. Now I gotta give a big thanks to Diamond Select Toys for making this review possible. If you want to see the latest from Diamond Select Toys, check the link in the description below. And so far, not a bad looking Iron Spider, I like it. On the side right there, nice image of Iron Spider. And then on the back, you can see Iron Spider. There's the read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. Here's some other Marvel Select figures coming out from Infinity War. And then on this side, not much going on. Not much at the top or the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Iron Spider out of the package. Again, it looks great, doesn't it? I mean, just first impression, I really like the paint apps quite a bit. I do have nitpicks about this figure. We're going to get into that. But just first look over here, it does look great, especially compared to anything else I've seen and anywhere near this kind of scale for the Iron Spider. So I'm pleased with that so far. Let's get a closer look at those accessories, and then we'll get a closer look at the Iron Spider. Now, some collectors may be disgruntled over the fact that this figure does not come with a base. I tend to not get so upset about it if I think the figure performs really well, and so far, I mean, this is pretty sweet, man. We get 8 interchangeable hands. You get the fisted hands, and you get the web grabbing hands. It does not come with the web. One thing I do like is that all of the hands except for the web grabbing hands have the up and down hinge. Only the web grabbing hands right here have the horizontal side to side hinge. And of course, you get your thwipping hands, as you can see right here, and the wide open hands. And I love that metallic paint. Oh, we're gonna see more of that. It looks so good. Before I forget, I want to mention that I did make it to the final round for the Toy News Eye Best Action Figure Reviewer of 2018 poll. Please go ahead and throw a vote in for the one and only ShartimusPrime. Link in the description below. I'd very much appreciate it. But looking at this head sculpt, I think it looks awesome. I love this vibrant paint. I really think Diamond Select nailed how this looked in the movie. Very nice reflective metallic paint for this head sculpt. Looks great, and I like how the lenses for the eyes look. A little bit of extra paint right here at the bottom, but just a tiny little gripe with that. Not even really. And then looking at the sculpt right there, the cobwebbing pattern looks awesome. Now, a gripe of mine I do have is that I feel like the torso is just a little off as far as the paint goes. I can see it turning just a little bit closer to an orange color towards the top right here. It's not as vibrant as the head, and you can see that the color in gold is quite different from how it looks on the arms. I wish they went with this color more so than this color right here. This is a little bit more of an orangey hue. This is more of a yellowish gold color, so I kind of like this one a little bit more, but it still looks pretty good to me, man. I like how the blues came out throughout. Nice metallic look for the blues. The arms look pretty good. One thing worth mentioning is that, you know, when you take the hands off, these little wrist covers are going to pop off with them, so be careful with that. They got some nice paint right there in the joints. I really like the little seams that they have sculpted in here. So I think the blue portions look great on the figure as well as the red. It just looks really good. I mean, just the way the suit was executed is just awesome. I really dig it quite a bit. So yeah, as far as aesthetics goes, man, they nailed it with this piece. I really like it a lot. Then looking at the back right here, one last time, you get the Iron Spider butt. Then you can see the legs right over here. And, you know, they do get a bit loose. I'll get into the articulation in just a minute. You can't really remove these. I tried popping them off, but I've heard about these breaking, so I'm not going to risk it. And you can see this one right here splitting, so I don't know, a little shaky right there. Okay, with a little bit more effort, I was able to unpeg these, but do it at your own risk. I do get a little bit of stress marks right over here, and yeah, that makes me feel like the plastic is ready to break, so I would be very careful removing these and putting them back in. And a bit inaccurate with all this red going on. It's just really gold and blue, and I went back and checked in the movie, so all the red that we're seeing here isn't supposed to be there. I guess I could paint that later on if I really wanted to, but, you know, it still looks really good as far as the sculpt goes, but yeah, just way too much red. Now this figure comes packed with great articulation. You can move this head all the way up. There is metallic paint in there, but it did chip off, but yeah, he can look up all the way and look down very far. You get side-to-side motion. No real head pivoting. You get shoulder joints that move outward just that much. You can move them down. You could rotate a full 360. You get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend all the way in. We already went over all the wrist articulation, and you can actually move the diaphragm joint side to side. You get some diaphragm pivoting. He'll crunch forward quite a bit and back quite a bit. You get a waist swivel right here, which is a little tricky to move. You do get great waist pivoting in there, and he'll crunch forward at the waist and back at the waist. That is freaking awesome. It makes me very happy. Great hip joints right here that move all the way outward, and he can kick forward a bit and not back at all. Upper thigh cut, great double jointed knees, and then the ankles move down. They do move up, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. And then we get multiple hinges right here in the legs. Now, some of them get very loose on me, especially this bottom right one. So you can see how loose that is. Not as loose on this side, but still loose. And you can't really rotate them. I mean, I'm able to get some of them to rotate, but again, I feel a little weary about that. Some of them are a little bit more stiff than others. Like this one's really stiff, but this one could rotate just fine. And you can hinge up and down right here. You can hinge this up and down. Again, you know, if you want to rotate it, do it at your own risk, but they can rotate somewhat at each of these joints. But this moves up and down right here, and then we get another joint up and down right over here. And it's the same thing for all four of these legs. So you can really do a lot with these. It's just that they get loose on me, you know? So it's kind of cool, but at the same time, a little tricky to work with. And it's worth noting that when you move the legs up, it's going to bump into this piece right here that causes some denting in the plastic. A little unfortunate. But to measure out this figure, you can see that he's standing right under 7 inches. Then for a size comparison, here's the Marvel Select Iron Spider next to the Marvel Select Spider-Man Homecoming figure, and you can see some really cool improvements over here with the Iron Spider figure. Like the crotch area right there, that is just really weird looking. This looks a lot more realistic, and I also like the placement of the thigh swivels. You know, they're a little bit lower over here. I think they look better higher up right there. Also, we get the waist articulation that we don't get on this figure. So yeah, very much improved on this Iron Spider. Then to compare the Iron Spider next to a couple other MCU Dusty Avengers characters, we have Black Panther and Doctor Strange. And I think the height difference between these three is pretty solid. And then for an Iron Spider comparison, we have the Marvel Select Iron Spider next to the Marvel Legends Iron Spider, the SH Figure Arts version, and we have the Hot Toys version right there. And out of the four of these, I obviously like the Hot Toys one the most, even though the way I had this on the stand, I got a little dent right above the bulge. That's a little irritating, but still, if you're trying to spend less than 40 bucks, I would go with the Marvel Select. There are issues over here, but still, out of the three of these, I think this one looks the most film accurate, and it has a ton of articulation. Then here's the Marvel Select Iron Spider. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey brother. Hey brother. Hey, do you think you can get my back? I got a little itch over here, and I just can't reach it. Do you think you can get it for me, huh? Please, please, please. I gotta thank you guys again for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate those of you that have voted for me over on ToyNewsEye.com. Remember, today is the last day to do so. Polls close by 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so if you're on the West Coast, you gotta act quick. Anyway, I wanted to show off this figure without the legs attached, and I think it looks pretty awesome. I think this is just a really good Spider-Man figure in general. I'm able to get him into some great dynamic poses. That left hand does look a little bit weird on the angle, and there are some issues with the legs getting loose on me, so there are some minor gripes with it. Aside from mentioning all of those, and with this being at an MSRP of $24.99, I'm giving it a Sud rating of I love it! And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you want to see the latest in Marvel news, photos, and forums, you can find it all over at MarvelousNews.com, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Stardust. Links to everything in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face is hit my shot. Your face is hit my shot.